I'm a lawyer and a professor of law at UNSW. I'm also an expert member of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues based in New York. My primary research is on Aboriginal people and the Constitution. At the moment I'm focused on this Indigenous recognition project that the government is interested in, and my primary work is how do you get Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in a room to decide what constitutional reform is to them. I've been working on constitutional reform since I became an academic, so about 17 years ago. And mostly I've focused on legal reform, so what that constitutional change would look like. In 2011, the Prime Minister appointed me to an expert panel on constitutional recognition. And so my research really fed into the recommendations of that expert panel. Since then, the impact of my research has been a process of constitutional dialogues for Aboriginal people. As a scholar, I could see that post-expert panel, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people weren't necessarily on board with the reforms that were being advocated, if not excluded from those conversations. I feel really proud as I stand there at the dialogues while people are able to speak about what they think their future should look like and what they think the solutions are to their problems. And part of what I do as an academic is to think about how those ideas might be translated then into legislation and constitutional amendment. As Australia's constitution was passed in 1901, Aboriginal people were being herded into these missions and reserves, and their right of movement, their freedom to speak their own language, their freedom to visit their family, to go on country to practice ceremony was all restricted by the law. My family was no different to that, and so I've always felt very strongly about the way in which the law has oppressed Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but also its capacity to redeem, to make things better. My research has contributed to these dialogues being rolled out across the country and Aboriginal people being able to exercise some degree of self-determination in regard to imagining how their world might be different to what it is now.